Tell me about when you sort of made that leap and started doing television and looking for roles and film roles, and how it led to Mad Men.
Well, I mean, auditioning is so, God, it's so awful. It's really awful.
Really?
I hate it.
It's not your thing.
I actually think I used to be better at it when I was auditioning more. Like, before I was anybody, you know, you just audition for everything. And
right.
So you build, it's a muscle. You know, at the time that I was auditioning for Mad Men, I'd been auditioning for, like, I was auditioning a lot.
I read that you saw the role and you really wanted it, and you decided to really go after it. And the first thing I thought when I saw that was, how do you try harder at one audition than the other?
Well, I have always found that it's only when I really want something and when I really love something, those are the only ones I get. But the full story of that audition actually is that I was supposed to read for the role of Peggy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my manager called me that morning and said, you know what? I think you're Rachel. I don't think you're Peggy. And I was like, I think you're right.
Now, let's stop for a minute and go, but Peggy was on 7 seasons.
Well, that's true. But, you know, nobody knew.
Nobody knew anything, right?
Then.
Nobody knew Mad Men would go more than 1 season.
Yeah. I mean, Mad Men was an art project, you know, like.
Right.
Also, when you read a pilot script, you're really just thinking about a pilot. You know, like, you never know if it's going to go
right.
beyond that, and then if it does, what its life is, what the life of that character is. So, so I just had the morning to prepare for Rachel.
So you couldn't stew over it?
No, I couldn't stew, which is good. So I just prepared it, and I went in, and then they kept calling me back. And that was where I think, like, there was some psychological fortitude involved, because they called me back, I don't know, maybe 4 times.
Right.
And, you know, every time they called me back, I was just, for some reason, and it just doesn't happen very much, I just knew that the character belonged to me.
Really?
I was like, she's mine. Like, no, I was like, I don't think anybody else can do this character. It's such a rare feeling. Like, I mean, it really almost never, ever happens. But, you know, like, the 3rd time they called me back, my manager was like, well, this is never good. He was like, you know, they keep calling you back, it's not good, it's like, you know, he was like, this is the moment when they bring somebody else in who runs away with the role. And I was like, mm-mm.